spinning our wheels a little bit in the first half. Got away from a lot of things that did us or were good for us the last couple of games. And by the time we kind of snapped into it and started playing a little bit more like ourselves, the lead was pretty big. So it's all about the way we approach these games. And if you're not ready to play when the ball goes up, any team in the league can beat anybody. And we don't have enough wins. We're not good enough to come to games not ready to play.
Coach said that you kind of kept the team in the game in the first half. What's that like when you have the hot hand, but the team overall is trying to get it going?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? It's easy, and it's a mentally weak person would get really frustrated in that situation, and it's natural. It's human nature, especially when you are feeling it. But at the end of the day, we were down 20 at the end of the half, so. If the shots went in the first half, that's great, but it was all about what we needed to do collectively in order to get back in this game, and we did a really good job of that for 20 minutes of that second half.
Corey, Brian pretty much took all the credit and said he didn't prepare you guys correctly and get you in the right disposition. What do you feel like it was at the beginning of the game, and is that kind of usual from him to just step up and be like, no, that's
yeah, I mean, that is usual of him. He takes every blame and deflects every praise. That's who he is. That's the kind of coach he is and the person he is. But I mean, in reality, we're the ones that go play, and we're the ones that win and lose games, and that's kind of the reality of what it is to me. And we lost that game tonight, and we weren't prepared, and we weren't ready, and we didn't put our best foot forward at all. And that's not what we've been building, and that's not how we've played the last 2 weeks. It's been really positive the last 2 weeks, and this is a step back for sure.
I understand you guys would never use this excuse, but have been playing with so many injuries, so you're relying on fewer guys. You played an overtime game last night, and now you're fighting. How much harder is it to kind of climb out of that hole in a second half of the game with what I assume is less energy than you would normally have?
Yeah, I mean, it is hard, but that's a mental hurdle you have to get over. Everybody's fatigued. Everybody's banged up. It's the end of the season. Guys are playing. Guys aren't playing. That is the most, one of the biggest mental challenges in the NBA is just to fight fatigue. Whether you're game 2 or you're game 82. And when you give into fatigue and you give into, a schedule or injuries or whatever, the season throws at you, losses pile up quickly, and we just didn't. I mean, it felt like we kind of, as a group, fell into every excuse possible.
Corey, when you and your teammates and your coach assess the team's performance, in the first half, how do you determine whether it was simply missing shots or not playing the way to which you guys have started to become accustomed?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it takes a trained eye as far as basketball goes to see the difference. It's a feel thing. It really is. And when you're out there and when you are watching the game, you can feel the difference. We did have a lot of good shots at the beginning of the game. We missed a lot of really good opportunities, and that's true. But the energy that we played with and the spirit that we had and the lack of joy that we had for a majority of that first half, I would argue caused us to miss those shots. Energy is a real thing.